Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to show you is how to use easybib as a research tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and log back into easybib. And one little thing that you always have to be careful about when you use easybib if you have more than one project is that you open the project that you actually want to work in. So I'm going to go ahead and click the notebook section. And then I'm going to click over to my John Green project, not to any of the others. And then I'm going to click research. And then I'm going to simply type in John Green. See what comes up. Basically, easybib is just like Google. It's searching the internet just like Google would. But it does one little extra step for you. Is sometimes it says that things are credible. Some things it'll say are maybe credible, and some things it says nothing at all, which means maybe it is credible, maybe it's not credible, and you're going to need to decide whether it's credible on your own, and I will teach you how to do that. But I am interested in this first little article. It's an author profile of John Green from Teen Reads Week, and it says that it is credible. Unfortunately, when I clicked it, okay, I'm going to have to search for him once I'm here. And there he is. Okay, and here is one thing that I definitely want to know is all of the books that he has written. So what I'm going to do is I am definitely going to use information that I have found on this site. So I'm going to click back over to my tab of easybib research, and I'm going to click the Cite It button, which is going to add it to my bibliography in easybib, which is going to be really helpful later. Now, I need to caution you about something. You're going to want to, because it's human nature, and that's what people want to do, is make it as easy as possible. They're going to just automatically want to go down and click the Create Citation button. It is your job as a student to make sure that you have gone back and forth and checked to make sure that all of the information here is correct, because sometimes it's not. So basically what we're looking for is we're looking for this information to match that information. And you know what? I'm not finding it. I don't see that this page, because remember when I clicked to it, I had to search again. I think I'm actually at a different page because I'm not showing that author title. I'm not showing the publication date of 2006 anywhere. So, you know what? easybib messed up. And that's going to happen sometimes. But it's okay. Let me show you what to do. Basically, you're going to take the URL and you're going to copy it. We're going to go back to the easybib citation making page, and we are going to actually just go to my projects, and you're going to click bibliography. And you're going to, since it's a website, we're going to literally just copy and paste that website into the easybib citation maker. If it were a book, and I'll show you how to do a book in a second, you'd go over to this tab. If it were a newspaper, you'd go to this tab. If it was a database, you'd go to this tab. But anyway, it's a website, so we're going to go ahead and click Cite It. And we're going to click Continue. And again, it is our job to check to make sure that easybib pulled as much information as possible. So if they didn't find an author or a contributor, so we're going to go back to that website and see if we see an author to this page. And in this case, easybib's right. There isn't an author to this web page, so we'll leave that blank. The website title, we have to check and make sure that that's right. It is Teen Reads, but I'm going to actually say that the website title here is actually John Green, because the title of that website is John Green. So we're going to change the website title from what it said was Teen Reads to John Green. And the publisher or sponsor is actually Teen Reads. So do you see how easybib is helpful, but it doesn't necessarily do everything perfectly? It is your job to go back and fill in the blanks. The URL is correct because you typed it in. Now, most teachers, and you need to ask your teacher, even though an MLA 7 does not require you to show the URL, most teachers still prefer that you do. So I'm going to go ahead and click the yes button. I want you to go ahead and ask your teacher and figure out if you need to display the URL in your bibliography. My guess is most teachers are going to say yes, but you don't have to anymore according to MLA, but you really need to do what your teacher wants. And then we're going to look here to see if there's an electronically published date. It does say 2014, so we'll at least add the year. And then the date accessed, that's just today's date. So we have now verified that there's as much information here as we can, and we're going to add the we're going to go ahead and create the citation. Okay, so that is now in your bibliography. But I'm going to want to go from here to your your notebook tab, because I want to add a new note. What I want to know and what I'm listing is a name of books. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally copy and paste. Now, he didn't actually write this book, he just wrote the introduction, so I am not going to say that he wrote that whole book. I'm going to copy and paste all these other books that he has written into easybib. And then you're going to be able to keep that there. And then I'm going to paraphrase it. And I'm going to say, in my, hold on. I'm going to paraphrase, and I'm going to make a sentence that says, John Green has written, and I'm going to count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books, not five books, 5 books, contributed a story to 1 book, and written the introduction to 1 book. The books he wrote include, and then I'm going to type them all out. I'm going to go ahead and press the video because you don't necessarily need to see me type them all out, but I'm going to type them all out. And then I'm going to finish the sentences out, so in my own words. Alright, so let me pause. Okay, so it took a little while to type all that out, but here's what it finally said. John Green has written 5 books, contributed a story to 1 book, and written the introduction to 1 book. The books he wrote include Looking for Alaska, An Abundance of Catherines, Paper Towns, The Fault in Our Stars, and Will Grayson, which he co-wrote with David Levithan. He also contributed to the book of short stories Let It Snow, and wrote the introduction to This Star Won't Go Out, the life and words of Esther Grace Earl. Okay, so I got all that information from this one website. So what I'm going to do now is I need to basically associate it to the source that we created earlier so we know where we found it. So I have copy and pasted the direct evidence and I've paraphrased it and I've added it into easybib, and now I'm going to have associated it with the source in easybib, and now I'm going to save the note. Okay, so now it's time for your task. Your task is going to be find at least one article using easybib. Easy enough. Add that article to easybib's bibliography. Then you need to create a note using easybib, making sure that you associate the source. And paraphrase your sentence. All right, so that is what you should do now. If you've forgotten how to do any of that, rewind the video and watch it. But basically, you are going to find at least one article on your topic using easybib. You're going to add that article to the easybib bibliography. Remember, it's your job to check to make sure the easybib did its job correctly. If it didn't, you need to stop and you need to add it manually. And then you are going to create the note using easybib. In your Notes tab, you're going to be sure to associate the source and paraphrase your own sentence. All right, those are your tasks. If you get stuck, rewind or ask. All right,